If you've been tracking our coverage on the monumental Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, you already know Section 1 has been progressing at an unbelievable pace. We are talking about a massive 47.7-kilometer stretch that is completely rewriting the logistics landscape of Lagos. Most of what we've talked about and see up to this point on the Section 1 has been earthworks, sand filling, concrete paving, and at some point the underpass construction at New Road. But now, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway Section 1 is gradually transitioning from a road construction project into a full-scale transportation corridor. While much of the attention has focused on paving works over the past year, Section 1 of the project has now entered a new and equally important phase. The main carriageway is almost completely paved across the entire 47.7-kilometer alignment. With the pavement works nearing completion, construction activities are increasingly shifting towards some of the most critical engineering components of the project. These include interchanges, flyovers, underpasses, ramps, retaining structure and other elevated transportation infrastructure that will ultimately determine how traffic flows through this corridor. Over the next few videos, we are going to dive deep into these engineering marvels. In today's update, we are taking a detailed look at one of these structures, or should I say structures, due to the ongoing construction here at the Marwa section and examine the progress achieved so far. But before we move into the elevated structures, let's briefly visit the only section of the road that remains unpaved. For those who have been following my update on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, the Section 1 is almost done. I can say it's around 90 to 95% done. The only stretch that is remaining to be paved is just where I am presently right now, which is between Solu-Alade town and Iwerekun. All the rest of the 47.7-kilometer stretch has been done. So we have only this stretch that is left on both carriageways. If you are coming from Victoria Island all the way to Eleko, the road is now open on both carriageways. But on your way, this stretch is the only place you are probably going to be seeing the unpaved section of the Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. At this stage, nearly the entire Section 1 corridor has received pavement. However, it remains a short section of approximately 50 meters on both carriageways that is yet to be surfaced. Considering the scale of this project, this remaining gap represents a very small portion of the entire alignment. The unfinished area appears to be associated with ongoing engineering works that needs to be completed before final pavement layers can be placed. Once completed, the project will achieve continuous pavement throughout the entire 47.7-kilometer section. From here, our attention shifts to the elevated structure that will serve as major traffic distribution points along the highway. So let's head to Marwa in Lekki. As motorists enter the coastal highway from Ahmadu Bello Way in Victoria Island, the first major elevated structure under construction comes into view at around Marwa axis. This structure is designed to connect the Lekki-Epe Expressway directly with the coastal highway corridor. In highway engineering, this type of infrastructure serves as a grade separated interchange. Rather than forcing vehicles to cross traffic at ground level, traffic movement are separated vertically, significantly improving safety and traffic efficiency. The structure originates around the Marwa axis and extends across one of the coastal highway carriageway before descending towards the SPG area. This location coincides with the section where the coastal highway alignment split into separate corridors. One of the most noticeable developments here is the completion of the ramp embankment. The ramp up and ramp down sections have already taken shape, giving us a clearer picture of the final geometry of the interchange. The supporting piers are also in place. These reinforced concrete piers will eventually carry the bridge deck and transfer structural loads into the foundations below. The next major phase will involve beam installation. Once girders are placed on the piers, contractors can proceed with deck construction and surfacing works. A short distance away, directly in front of Blue Water Towers, another elevated structure is beginning to emerge. Unlike the first structure, this one is designed to transfer traffic across the opposite carriageway upon completion. Vehicles will be able to transition seamlessly towards the Lekki-bound corridor. Although construction here is still at an earlier stage, substantial progress is already visible. Deep foundation works are actively ongoing. Given the coastal nature of the terrain, deep foundation systems are critical for engineering long-term structural stability. The foundation elements being installed here will eventually support the elevated bridge deck and ramp sections. One of the most significant engineering challenges on projects of this nature is dealing with soft coastal soils. This often requires extensive piling works and ground improvement techniques before major structures can be erected. The ramp down section has already taken shape and provides an early indication of the final alignment. As construction progresses, the focus will shift towards pier construction, beam placement, and deck formation. For many viewers, these structures may simply appear as bridges under construction, but in reality, they represent some of the most important components of the entire project. The effectiveness of a highway is not determined solely by pavement quality. It is determined by how efficient traffic can enter, exit, and move through the corridor. Interchanges eliminate conflict points. Flyovers reduces congestion. Grade separated crossing improves safety. Together, these structures ensure uninterrupted traffic flow and allow vehicles to maintain higher travel speeds. As traffic volumes increases over the coming decades, this investment will become increasingly important. The elevated structures currently under construction are therefore not just additions to the highway. They are essential components that will define the operational efficiency of the entire corridor. With the pavement works largely complete across Section 1, attention is now shifting towards vertical infrastructure that will bring the coastal highway fully to life. The Marwa interchange connection the Blue Water Towers elevated crossing, and several other structures along the route are steadily advancing. Over the coming weeks, we will continue monitoring these structures here and other locations as beams are installed, decks are constructed, and the final form of the highway begins to emerge. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is no longer just about building a road, it is about creating a modern transportation corridor capable of supporting economic growth, regional connectivity, and future urban expansion along Nigeria's coastline. If you enjoyed this detailed update, kindly like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next project update, which will be another location with an elevated structure.